Okay, welcome to camp. Have a special treat for you. All right, Miss Alina, I'm going to be at first she's going to be showing you, hold your cookbook up and show you, and then I'm going to share my screen so that we can flip through and look at her cookbook. I'm going to be asking her questions about her project, and as well as you can ask her questions just to get ideas. It's really great to see other families and how they do their cookbooks, how they went about their projects, because there's no right or wrong way on how to do this project. Um, and so it's great when we get to see other families and how they finish their project. And the great news is uh, you have a real expert because not only have we finished the first cookbook, you're working on your second cookbook right
I know.
now.
I'm almost
Um,
done.
well, amazing. Well, before we get started, I'm going to share my screen in just a moment. Hold up your book so everyone can see it and kind of give us, oh, your background is making it where we can't see. That's
Oh,
okay. We'll see it in the designer when I flip through it. There it is.
yeah, I know
Um,
what's happening.
Yes, my favorite things about your book is the name of the book. Start us off by telling us the name of the book, and then we'll
Yeah,
get into kind of like why you created it.
yes. Mamina's Family Favorites. And it's a play on words, actually. The children call me Mamina. They could not say Mama Alina when they were first born, so they called me Mamina and it stuck. So then Family Favorites is in reference to the recipes that are recipes that they like and that we've used over the years, and also because they are my favorites. And so their pictures are all included in the book as well.
I love that. I love that. And just kind of walk us through when did you start planning this project?
Ah,
What inspired you to start the project?
mhm.
And as you talk, I'm going to share my screen so I'm going to start flipping through the
Sure,
book so they can start
sure,
getting their questions. But
sure.
yeah, walk us through that.
Uh, I first started working on this, I want to say in 2020, maybe, or 2019. And I was still working at the time. I retired at the end of 2020. And so I decided then that I was really going to work on it in earnest. And so that winter after the holidays, I started to work on it. And then in 2020, um, 21 or 22, maybe at Christmas of 21 or 22, I think is when I gave the book to them as a gift, one of the Christmas gifts. So um, I dedicated the book to my late grandmother, who was an excellent cook. And so I dedicated the book to her.
And that's a
And
picture of her.
yes,
I love
yes.
that.
And she died in 1999. She was almost 108. And so, um, but um, I actually thank everyone who contributed to the book. My mom and my daughter and daughters-in-law, my son, who's an excellent cook. And so this next book that I'm going to work is dedicated to my kids. And so anyway, I have 80 recipes in the first one. I have 81 in the second one that I'm going to print soon. Um, and I had a lot of pictures. I try to include pictures as much as I could. When I started to plan the book, I began taking pictures of food, and I began searching through my Facebook account, my own phone folders and files, and started to look for pictures that would be appropriate for the book. And so that's how I started. And so I knew that already going into the second book, that I wanted to save pictures. So all the holidays, we end up taking some food pictures because of that. Um,
I love that. I love that. And you have these kind of, I love how you've used, like, for example, on the desserts, we've got the kiddos with the cake. That's really
mhm,
sweet and cute. You've done a great job of kind of like weaving those photos in and making them kind of help tell that story in your cookbook.
mhm.
Yeah, these are really great. Oh my gosh, and look at the pie. Oh my goodness.
Yes, I have a son who prefers a blueberry pie for his birthday instead of cake. So I make him one every year. And because of that, now his oldest son and his oldest daughter also want that for their birthday. So they get that too. So,
I love that. What's really funny is I get pie for my birthday. I was born on Thanksgiving. Doesn't mean that my birthday always lands on Thanksgiving, but if you hear my father always tells me my dad's like happy birthday every Thanksgiving. And so I always get a pecan pie just for myself. Like that's my birthday cake. So I love that. And you have your story pages. I love how
I
you kind of
do.
incorporate those.
I
And these,
do. I found a recipe in my grandmother's handwriting and I put that into the book. Um, I don't know if you can see me. I have a German Shepherd standing behind me because she's afraid of the beeping sound that is made every time someone comes into
oh,
the
I'm
cook.
sorry.
She is shaking and she wants to be in
Oh,
my lap.
of course. Oh my
You can
goodness.
see her, but
We can't because of your background, but no,
okay.
I'm sorry. I think it should settle down now.
All right.
All right, I'm going to stop now to see if anyone has any questions that they have for Mama Alina and her cookbook, and if anything that they're working on theirs. If you do, you can either pop it in the chat and I can read it, or if you want to raise your hand, you can do that and I'll call your name. Miss Bonnie. Oh, there's that. And you're muted, so the bottom left corner, there's a microphone.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Um, my question is for Alina about the story pages. Are those just integrated throughout the different categories, or is there just one section of story pages?
No, I
Thank you.
have those integrated throughout the book. Yes. And some of the um, recipes had a little story to go with them, so I would put that into each of the recipes. I'd have a little story to tell. Some of them didn't have that, but some do. And but I
And you
also have created some story pages, and I discovered a trick. I know that some pages you can't put pictures in, but if I call it a story page and then change the title of it to something else, then I can do that and include pictures.
Yes, ma'am. I'll show everybody what you're talking about. So here's the story page. And she could change this to say, whatever she would like. You can add your text, and then there's a layout that includes a photo,
Mm-hmm.
so that you could have that photo with it as well. And then going into the stories. So if you have a small, quick story, it's really nice to have that. Like here, you'll see
Mm-hmm.
Mama Alina has it in her notes. We edit, if you go to the recipe, you'll see this notes section. So it appears with the
Yes.
recipe for a longer story. If you're telling the story of the time that someone burned the turkey and the fire department had to show up, I would suggest a story page. And you can just insert those by adding the plus before or after, insert story page. And then that gives you, more room for the text. And don't worry if you do add a story page. We do have continued story pages, so you could continue over several pages depending on how wild and crazy that story gets. And so, a couple, and it's really fun. I love when people incorporate stories. I think that, uh, with these family cookbooks that we're working on, there's so much more than just recipes. They're telling the
Mm-hmm.
story of our family. They're telling the story of our traditions. And so when you can add those, it really does um, take that book to the complete next level. And another thing to note, I don't know if Miss Brenda's here or not today. She came up with the idea. Um, do like a who's page for like who is more telling these stories, because as we go generations and this becomes an heirloom piece, like it's going to go down for generations. The grandkids and great grandkids might not know who the great grandparents and grandparents before that are. So if you just want to add a little page with like, it can just be a story page with like, this was so and so's mom and this was so and so's dad, just so as they're reading those stories, they have reference and they know who we're talking about. And so I've seen that really become popular in the last year. And every time I see it, I just love them. I'm like, oh wow, that's so clever because I don't think about it. And now I'm working on a cookbook with my daughter, and I'm trying to take the time to like, okay, who is Grandma Clements? Because she's never met Grandma Clements. She had passed before she was born. So adding that in there. Sorry to what's the German Shepherd's name?
Pandora.
Pandora. Okay, sorry,
Yes.
Pandora.
Poor Pandora.
Oh goodness.
He's in
Yeah.
the book too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think we have some questions in the chat. I'm going to answer those, and feel free, guys, to raise your hand because that's good as well. I can hear. Okay, good, good. Um, the pictures are different sizes. Mine seem to be the same size. Okay, I'm going to show you how to edit that. If you have photos, you can kind of like zoom in and zoom out. The way you do that within the box that the photo is for. So here's the box that the photo can be in. If you click that photo here, you can, I'm going to change it, but I promise not to save it. You can go in and out with the zoom. You can also fill or fit to that container for your photos, and that's how you get that different size look. So hopefully that helps. And then I've got to stop sharing to read the question. Let's see. Desiree wants to know when you want a story at the beginning of a recipe, where is this written in the recipe box? That notes section that I just showed you, Desiree. Hopefully that helps. And someone wants you to show the finished project. I know you have your background. Will you try to hold the book up again? They want to see it. And you went with the soft cover YRO, right, Alina?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I
And
do.
do you
And
have
I
any?
use the pages, I forget the name of it, rain,
Right in the rain. Mhm.
right in the rain. I use that type of page. I don't know if you can see it. Can you?
I know the background keeps blurring it,
I
where
don't
we
know
can't
how to
see it.
take the background.
Let me see. If you go, now I've got to remember how to do that. I think,
Um,
let's see.
let's see. Whiteboards, more.
Oh, under video, if you click it and then just background,
I
make sure
have.
that's background. Oh, we turned you off.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Right in the Rain, just to go over that. Um, so the Right in the Rain is it was actually originally made for like military and first responders, but it also turns out it works really well in a kitchen. So it's spill resistant, water resistant paper that you can use. So if you spill water or something on it, you can just wipe it clean. The only thing that I will say about it, I actually like it. I have littles at home, so we're a messy kitchen. It's great. I don't get it from my mom. She's not as messy as I am. I get the premium paper for her because it's gloss. The Right in the Rain is a matte. There it is. Ah, she got it. Now you can
Got
see
it.
the book. Um, the Right in the Rain it almost has like a matte finish to it. And so if it's going to be a very functional book, I love it. If it's meant to be like a coffee table style book, I actually prefer the premium. So it just depends on, and some people order, different one of each, if you will. Someone asked how do we set up the page, for the different binding styles. So when you go to order, you can order any binding style you want. The only thing to note is make sure you review your proofs for all the binding styles because things change. But when you're working on your book and you are going to go for softcover YRO or hardback YRO, whatever that might be, if you go to the More tab and go to book settings, you can set the book to whatever binding style you're working on. And so that will make sure that the cover and everything is set to those dimensions. But again, you can order, a lot of times people order, a hardback case bound for themselves and a couple extra soft cover for family and friends. There's no right or wrong. My only thing when you do order multiple binding styles is it's so important. Sorry, Pandora. It is so important that you make sure you to review those proofs because the covers can change slightly. Um, and most of the time it's fine because it's, just a smidge. But if you had a photo and it had someone's face like right here, it on one of the hardcovers it might wrap, so you might need to adjust that some. This photo would probably be fine across all binding styles, just because if it wraps a little bit here, that's okay, no
Right.
big
That's
deal.
fine.
Exactly. Is it okay if we take a peek at your second book that you're working on? I know you haven't ordered it.
No, it's absolutely fine.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's go look at volume
I
two,
don't have a
guys.
cover on it yet. I haven't worked on
Okay,
the cover, but
that's okay. Let's get a sneak preview.
sure.
Okay. Oh, I love it. Oh.
On the cover, I'm going to have a cutting board that was made by my friend.
I love that. That's
Hmm.
so
And
sweet.
so that's why I have that page
That
on
makes
there.
sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. I do love that.
And
So I
there's,
want to, is it okay if I show a little trick right here? So
yes,
Okay, I love that we have two columns on this on the table of contents for this page. However, on this one, because it's just like a few lines, what I might do is
Okay.
move that layout to a single column just to fill a little
Oh,
bit more of the room
yeah.
of the thing. And I'm gonna set it to this page only just because I don't want it to override the other one.
Okay.
But then you'll see how that just looks a little
Oh,
more.
yeah.
Yeah. So that'll
Okay.
just kind of like fill in a little bit better.
Okay.
Um, okay, and then we have dedications. I love that. I love that. Um, oh, fun. And we have the appetizers. And you've done two recipes per page. That's great, especially when you're working with, a bigger set of recipes. And a lot of people ask often, how many recipes do I need in a book? And the answer is, of course, it depends. I've seen recipes with one or even none. And I've seen books with hundreds, two per page, every single page. But if we take the average of everyone who's ever created a cookbook with us, it's 30. Most families have 30 family recipes.
Hmm.
Um, and so in yours have 80, which is a really great number. Look at this. That's so funny. I love it. Another thing that people don't realize that you can do, so you see on page 21, we have the
Yes.
numbers twice. We have one and then we have one again.
Oh,
So you have two options. You can either go to the recipe and just take those out,
take
or if
the
you want,
numbers.
take the
Okay.
numbers out because we automatically put them in anytime there's a line break.
All right.
But
Oh,
if
okay.
you wanted to keep yours, and that was
Yeah.
important to you, you can just go to step numbers and you can hide them. So now it's just your numbers versus ours.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, however you want to do that is,
All right.
I'm just gonna as I see a few things, we're gonna pop in and take a look, and
I
then we'll.
appreciate that because
Of
I didn't
course.
notice it. I
Yeah,
didn't
I know.
notice it
And
until
that's
you
the
did
thing
that.
when you're working on these sometimes
Hmm.
is it's great to have that second set of eyes because when you get in here and you're working on it, you're like, oh, you looked at it, for so long. Oh gosh, I need sourdough help all day. I killed Vincent. Vincent is oh, it was bad. He got moved and I had a baby and I kind of forgot about him. And and then like my husband found it, he came out, he's like, "What is this?" I was like, "Oh no, that's the sourdough starter."
It was.
It was. It was bad.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, that's maybe next year. No, this is great. All right, I'm gonna stop to see if anybody has questions, and then we'll open it up to a Q&A. And I do want to take some time to show you our new We Type It platform. Okay, so pop into the questions. Anybody, if you want to raise your hand, that's easy too, because I can just call your name. Um, let's see. Can you show? Okay, so Dana, on the bolding text, I'm going to show you that. If you want to bold one section, you can do that, but it's going to apply to all of that. So if we go to the recipes, you'll see here, this is bold, but we can make it normal. Um, or italic for the directions. What I like is I like the ingredients to be bold and I like the notes to be italic just because it kind of like is saying like it's part of the recipe, but it's slightly different. Um a quick note on font size, and I might bump this up a little bit. So if you can read a newspaper comfortably, that's a size 10 font.
Okay.
If a newspaper is difficult to read, I would go with 11 or 12,
Okay.
especially for people who use reading glasses, just because you don't want them having to go back and forth in the kitchen. Um, so another thing, script fonts, which just is since it has this like beautiful full like script, those are beautiful on the title of the recipe or the title of the cookbook. I strongly suggest using it in a pairing like Miss Alina's done, because and using either what's called a sans serif or a serif font. And the reason for that is it's easy for us to read. Scripts are beautiful, but they're difficult to read. And some of my favorite, Helvetica is always good. Another good one is Montserrat, um, or of course, Times New Roman is a classic. If you have really long recipes and you're wanting to fit as much content on a page, um, I always say it wrong. I can't remember how to say it, but this font right here is the most like they sit closest together, so you can fit the most text with that font. ALEO. That's the one you want if you're trying to fit as much text on a page as possible. And my favorite pairing is that one with the Sacramento. That's one of my favorites. Another one that I really love for this for the title is the what is it called? It's called Poppins, not Poppin. Sorry, Pinion Square. Sorry, there it is. I really like the pinion script. That's really classic, especially if you're doing like, grandma's handwriting and we're kind of like going for that like really classic vibe. I like that one. If you're wanting to be really fun and it's for the kids and you're wanting like a poppy, the Chelsea's Market is really fun and it's easy to read if you have like littles in the kitchen. My daughter's in kindergarten and she can read this font really well. Another thing to note if you're working with recipes and you're trying to decide how you want to format, if you are writing for kids and you have kids cooking these recipes, it is to me, I can't, so I'm not going to save anything. You can make edits in here, and we have this tool called Suggest Edit. Um, and from here, you can basically standardize that recipe in all of the like if you want it to spell out, if you want it to be TSP or whatever. But if you're working with kids, I do like this heritage heirloom because it spells out all of the
Oh,
the things
okay.
and it's just easy because kindergartners, first, second graders, they don't know what TSP versus TBE. They can't they struggle with that. So I do like it spelled out in that sense. And so you can just it's part of our plus plan and I can show you in my account in a minute how that works. So you can easily update recipes. So those are some suggestions. All right, Miss Desiree, you had a question. If you want to unmute. Oops, you're still muted. Bottom left corner, there's a microphone. Oh, you're still muted. It's the microphone. Can you click it in here? James wants to know
Thank
who's
you.
there you are. Go ahead.
I'm as far as a recipe box. How do I get to layout from recipe box?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Let me show you. So if you have your recipes in the book, if they're not in the book yet, what you want to do is go to the recipe box and select all of them that you want in the book. And then you're going to click here where it says add to book. You can select the layout you want. You can always go back and change the layout. And then from here you'll hit next, and then that will place it in the book.
Can't
It'll
I,
auto fill that.
can I go page by page or do I have to do it all at once?
I would suggest kind of doing it all at once. You can go just one at a time and just grab one and add it to the book. Another way you can do it is if you know all the names of the recipes, you can go in and insert a recipe page and you can search where it says, you can search your recipes and just click that and then insert it that way if you want to go page by page.
Okay. I I want this book to be more about people than recipes.
Yeah,
So we have more story pages. So how do is there something that says story page on it?
yeah, so if you hit the plus
Layout?
icon and then hit after and then story page, which is going to say right here, then you could just insert that anywhere that you want it in the book. And there you'll add your text and here are the few different layouts that you have.
So everything's in the layout. And how again do I get to the layout from the recipe box? I looked and
No,
I
that's okay. You should go to the book itself, get out of the recipe box, and you'll see these little plus icons.
okay.
Hit before or after, and then select story page.
Okay.
And then you'll hit next, and then you'll save.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Miss Connie. No worries, Miss Connie. You're still muted.
There
We'll
we
get
go.
you. Don't worry. Dang.
A couple of questions. When I've been typing out my recipes and I just do it from the recipe box, I
Mhm.
always, and then when I go to the AI edit and it says match my previous recipe style, and because I'm just typing out
Yeah.
recipes, I just do that. Just
Yeah. So
just
the
do
way that works, what she's talking about is if you have used the suggest edit for a few recipes, it's using AI and it's going to get smart and it's going to start matching your voice and tone. And so it won't appear until you've done it a few times
yeah.
because we've got to kind of like see what are you trying to do. But if you see that unlock, you can just apply it and that will match the past, the recipes that you've edited so that we know like, okay, she wants all the tablespoons to be spelled this way. She wants cups this way. She wants this way. But yeah, that's a good way to use it.
Okay. And the other question I have is, do the recipe books have tabs?
Do the recipe books have tabs? Oh, Miss Connie. No, they don't.
Okay, like this.
We have section dividers. I have
Okay.
seen people order tabs off of Amazon and put them on the section
Okay.
dividers.
Okay.
I
No.
have seen that. Yeah.
And then the other thing I thought, oh, well, when my kids use this book, and hopefully they will,
Yeah.
is what about a page for conversion tables or ingredient substitutes? Does Create My Cookbook have something like that, or do I have to find it and incorporate it?
Under extra pages, there is that conversion table.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Ma'am, we don't have the substitutes, but what I have seen people do is go in under a story page and just kind of add what they use as substitutes on a story page.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Okay. Under story page. Okay.
ma'am,
Thank you.
of course, of course. All right, I'm gonna stop so I can see, make sure I'm gonna go pop over to the chat. I don't want to abandon our people who are asking questions. Um, so James, if you're still on, if you'll unmute yourself, you asked about who's the publisher. So uh when we're looking at Alina's book, it's her content. We would never publish it on her behalf. You do when you sign up for Create My Cookbook, you give us permission to print your photos and recipes. So you are giving us rights to them so that we can print them and distribute. We would never share your book with anyone without your permission. We would never share anyone's book without their permission. That being said, you do have the ability to share it and sell your book or just keep it with family. It depends on what you want to do. But hopefully that answers your question. If it didn't, feel free to unmute yourself and I can try to answer that better. Um, Kathy says I have 150 pages. Oh, Miss Kathy, real quick. Fall and dried cheese. Okay, good. You're gonna have to divide that into two books because our largest book is the excuse me, is the soft cover perfect bound and it's 312 pages. But what you can do, my favorite way to do that is just duplicate the book once you're done and delete the first half and delete the first half of the second one and delete the second half of the first one, if that makes sense. Or you can organize it. I've seen for people who have large recipe collections, I've also seen where they'll organize it savory and sweet. And so they'll do all their savory sections, appetizers, sides, entrees, and then they'll do their desserts, cookies, pies, all
Well,
of that.
unfortunately, when I started the book, everything
Uh-huh.
is incorporated. So what I
Okay.
want to know is there a way to pull out my cake section and transfer it, or I have to duplicate the book and then delete?
Oh, your recipes will still be in your account. So what you could do is start another book and then just select those because they'll be in that recipe box that's shared across all accounts.
Okay, great. Thank
Yeah,
you.
of course, of course. Um, all right, Carol, I was designed for outdoor use such as tree tags and people. Yeah, it was. Miss Carol, yeah, the Right in the Rain. Yeah, we it's a cool partnership we did a few years ago and it's been fun. Can categories have subcategories? I have seen people there's not really a subcategory, but I have seen people will go main dishes dash chicken, main dishes dash pork, and they just organize them in the book kind of like main dishes, and then they'll kind of go each section. So I have seen that done, and that's I think if you have a really large collection and you've got like 60 main dishes, I think that's a smart thing to do. If you only have like 15 or 20, oh, you might just leave them together. It depends on you. I'm working on Miss Christine says I'm working on my second cookbook and wonder how often people repeat recipes. Uh, Miss Christine, can you unmute? I want to make sure I fully understand. Are
Yeah,
you like meaning the first cookbook versus the second one?
correct. Yes. So my daughter has been cooking her way through my first cookbook and
Yeah.
finding mistakes. So she's sending me my her corrections. So in my second book, I'm considering including a fair amount
Yeah.
of the recipes from the first book to do corrections. Plus, I use it as my go-to recipe book. So it's kind of got two
Yeah.
purposes.
I would probably repeat them. In that case, I would repeat them.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it depends. Some people, Alina, are you using the same recipes or you have brand new
I
recipes?
have brand new recipes, but
Okay.
I did go back. I found some typos after even though I had edited and edited, I missed some things. So I went
Right.
back and corrected them. And my
Right.
goal is, as each of the kids, the grandchildren graduates from high school, they're going to get a volume one and they're going to get a volume two
Smart.
of
And
their own.
let's be clear. Yeah, don't overthink the spelling or the grammar because this is my great grandmother's recipes, okay? And some of them makes me laugh. They're written on the backs of checks, which makes me like, what are we doing, Grandma? But that being said, she misspelled words. Like some of these words are misspelled. And that's okay. It is perfectly imperfect. These are family cookbooks. These are real recipes. These are real things that we did in our kitchen. And so don't let that it's perfectly imperfect, and I tell everyone, I'm like, that makes it real, that makes it like that's what we're really doing. So yes, feel free to correct them, but don't I still think they're beautiful books even when there's a word slightly misspelled. All right, did that answer your question, Christine? Feel like you're in a good place for that one?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Good, good. I'm glad. All right. And Nicole said, can we use your platform for like Canva? Some people do that, Nicole. They'll create like an image. I'm gonna come back to you, Miss Connie, in just one second. I see you. They'll create excuse me, a collage in Canva and they'll upload it as a single image. You can absolutely do that if you're comfortable with it. Miss Bonnie said, how do you get the design style from the recipe box? So Miss Bonnie, you'll make all the edits as far as design goes in the book itself. Once you're out of the recipe box, you'll make all those edits with that little pencil icon. And I like to do it under all pages because then it updates for the entire book. And you can edit the fonts, you can hide this like horizontal line if you don't love it, you can hide it. Um, let's see, let me show you how to do that. You can hide that line if you want it or don't want it. You can adjust your fonts. You can if you have the Cookbook Plus program plan, you can add a background color or change your font colors, whatever you want, do that in the book. All right, and then we've got somebody coming in. All right, Miss Connie, I'm going to stop now. What was, and then we'll pop back to the chat. What was your question? Oops, you're muted. We'll get there. Don't worry.
Okay, I was wondering, with the beautiful cookbook that you showed, it's lovely. Um, does create my cookbook automatically? Does it auto populate a table of contents, or do I have to
It
make it?
does.
Oh
It's
yeah,
going to auto create that. Yeah,
and does it automatically do page numbers?
it does. It does.
Okay, okay. And when you just mentioned something about plus, what does that mean?
Yeah, so our Cookbook Plus is our paid membership. We launched it a little over a year ago, and that's allowed us to invest in our designer, just kind of making it, uh, giving new features and really heavily invest. So things that you get with Plus, that have been, I'm really proud of these because I help work on them. So I'm gonna try not to be too bodacious. So things you get with Plus, you're gonna get, you can enable font colors. We can enable background colors. if you want background colors. If you wanted to, we have released where you can generate photos using AI. So if you wanted to create, and you can do illustrations or photos using an AI for your recipes or section dividers. You get access to the Suggest Edit, which edits the recipes in your account. You also get access, brand new, to generate an index, which will is based on the contributors, the author name. It'll create the index and the ingredients in the cookbook. So you'll get access to the index, and then we have some premium themes, and we're always kind of working on new ones that you'll get access to as well with the plus. If you're interested in it, there's a 7-day free trial. You can turn it on. Let's see. Click it. It's not, is it, I don't think you can enable it. I think it's a good idea and you can play with all the tools on there. Oh, you're still muted. Oh, Miss Connie, you're muted. Miss Connie, I can't hear you.
Does AI correction only come with plus then?
It does. It does.
Okay. Okay. Oh, well then I guess I do have plus. Ah,
Yeah, you do. I was saying it sounds like you have it.
but I didn't know what I was signing up for.
That's okay.
So is
We'll
that a
get you there.
one-time payment? Okay, perfect.
It is we have a 3 month and a 1 year. We take most people work on their projects between either 3 months or 1 year.
Okay.
And so there's two options, whichever works best for you.
Okay. Thank
Um,
you.
of course, of course. So Kathy wants to know, does the author, okay, so there's a couple things, Miss Kathy, and I'm gonna feel free to unmute as I'm talking and it makes sense. So you'll see in the recipe box, there's the author and you can also, let's see. You can also, if you need to search, you can search by contributor. So if you were working with somebody we have, or if you wanted to invite someone to contribute recipes or photos, there's this copy shareable link, and you can send that to them and it'll send them a form for them to contribute recipes. So the author is going to appear in the footer, that's here, the author of the book, of the recipe. And then you have the contributor, it's just somebody who that sends it to you. But if I sent my mom my grandmother's recipe, the author would be my grandmother, if that makes sense. So yeah, if you need to search though, based on someone who's contributed, just hit the filter, and then here, like Rebecca contributed some recipes, and so here are the ones that Rebecca contributed. And that makes sense. All right, pop back
Can I
in.
just follow up on that just a little bit?
Yeah, go ahead.
So where does the author show up in the actual book?
Do you see that right there where it has it on the
Oh,
footer?
okay.
And if you're not seeing yours, it's possible that it's hidden. And let me show you how to unhide that if you're not seeing it. Um, some people hide the footer. If it was like all the same recipe, it might not be necessary. So if you're not seeing it, check under recipe footer and see if it's hidden or not. If it's hidden, you might just need to uncheck that box.
So here's just a quick question.
Yeah,
So
of
I've
course.
got a bunch of recipes that I pulled out of my mother's recipe box, grandmother's.
Mhm.
I don't know who actually, I know that my mother did some of them. I've done some of them, but I don't want to put my name to all of them knowing that
Yeah,
they were not my recipes. So
I would
what
just
do
leave
you
it blank. I would just leave it blank. It's a
just
family
leave it
recipe
blank?
book.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't put a name. I would just leave it in there.
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
All
you.
right. Of course, of course. Bonnie, is there a degree symbol? Yes, there
Yes,
is.
there is.
You can I, I will put this in the replay email. Here's a little carrot for everybody to go find that. The easiest thing to do is copy and paste it. I can tell you all the keyboard shortcuts to do the degree symbol, but the easiest thing to do is me email it to you and you copy and paste that bad boy and put it where you want. So I will in that replay email send the degree symbol because it's like you gotta push things and do things. But I will email that to everyone who wants the degree symbol. Um, when you pull your recipes into the layout, does it sort them by category? So when you add them from the recipe box to the book, it will put them in, if you have the categories named, it will put them in each section. And so it is a good idea before you, if you're working from the recipe box, to make sure your categories are, the way you want them. It just makes it one step easier. Um, and so that's nice. Um, Julie, is there a way for me to control how the directions are lined out of the box? So, Julie, what I would do, I think what you're trying to do, and feel free to unmute yourself and jump in if I'm not, you're trying to you want everything to have like the actual break in it versus it all being together. What I would do in that situation is if you use any of the layouts that have step numbers. Anytime you have a break, meaning you've hit enter and go to the next line, it's going to go to the next section. And like I said, if you don't like the numbers, you can hide those. But I would use that format so that you can have those breaks as you want them and have that look. Miss Bonnie?
So, as a question that I had, since you're on the directions box
Yeah.
that's in the recipe box section, I have found where my typing exceeds what I can see in the recipe box.
Oh,
The
okay. Let me
box
show you.
itself, it kind of
Uh-huh.
wraps to where, like, maybe the last couple letters or the last small word is not seen. You can't see what you're typing. Um,
Mm.
is and I'm
Do
on
you
full
see
screen.
how I'm moving this box? See how there's those little lines right there?
Hmm.
You can make that bigger so that you could see.
Okay.
So you just stretch
Yeah.
that side portion of the box. Okay, and stretch it. Okay,
Yeah. And then you should be able to
perfect.
see it better. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Um, Jump back out and see, I have two screens and I used to have one on the other one and I lost everybody one time on camp and I was like, oh my gosh, I've lost my camp. They were somewhere between my screens. All right. I'm gonna jump back into the chat and then oh, Miss Dana, I see you. I'm gonna come to you right next, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Um, all the recipes, layout, Julie. How do you insert a picture? So if you want to add a photo, you can add them to any of the pages that have photos. So the way to do that is one, make sure you're on a page that can have a photo, which means it's a layout. So you'll pick one that has a photo. And then from here, you'll have a picture tab and you can add photos from your computer, from Facebook, or you can create them with AI. Um, and so that's how you add a photo. You can add them to section dividers, photo pages, story pages, recipes with layout with photos, into the cover as well. Um, yep. Okay, Miss Dana.
Question. I've noticed as I've been typing out some recipes,
Yeah.
specifically jalapeno. Sometimes it comes, what was that called again?
The Enya.
The Enya
Uh-huh.
comes in automatically, and other times it does not.
I'm imagining that has to do with your browser actually. And the other thing to note about that
Hello?
Enya, the symbol, uh, there are
Yeah.
certain fonts that support it.
Right.
So,
If you
um,
may I interject?
sure, of course.
Alt plus 164 will give you the Enya in the lowercase.
Perfect. I'm so glad you were here.
I'm used to writing in Spanish, so
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
wonderful.
Plus
We have a house
164.
Yeah.
expert, guys.
Alt 164.
Alt
Okay.
164 is the lowercase Enya.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You haven't played.
But I have,
You're working on that.
I'm working on a Mac. So
Command or control. Try command first.
Control.
control, okay.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am. And as we're speaking about this and experts and all the things, I'm going to pause for just a second. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, we have a closed Facebook group. This is a really great place to ask like camp is perfect. Come ask those questions that we love it. But if you know you're in between, we have support. They do sometimes take a little while. We always try to answer things within one business day. We have a really great support team. But we also have this Facebook group. And what I love about it is half the time when people post a question or they put something, other people will jump in and they answer them faster and they have like more knowledge, and it's just kind of a really cool community to ask all those questions on like how has someone done this or how has someone done that. So I'm gonna put it in the chat, and I'll also send it in the replay email. If you have Facebook, um, it's a cool group to join and be a part of, and you can ask that, like that would be a perfect question for that. Like someone in the group knows how to do that symbol. And so feel free to take a moment there. And then Miss Kathy asked, I understand the photo pages cost more. So yes, as far as pricing goes, anytime there's a photo, even if it's black and white, because technically black and white, this is weird. I had to learn it when I started print. It technically uses a different kind of printer than a black and white, and so it's considered a colored page. And our pricing, the way our pricing works, the easiest way to get what's the price of your book going to be is to go to our pricing calculator, which if you go to our website, and the easiest thing to do is to just scroll to the footer under products, personal, and use this calculator. So all of our books include 50 pages. It doesn't matter if they're black and white or if they're color. Um, and so this right here that you see when you first come here, that's our standard pricing. So it's 50 pages with standard paper. If you go over 50 to 51, 52, 53, the price is dependent on the number of black and white pages, the number of color pages, and so the easiest thing to do is come here and to just pop in the number of pages that you're going to have and the number of books. We do have quantity discounts, um, paper, and then you can calculate your price and have an idea of how much your book is going to.
How did you get there again?
Christina,
Yes.
sorry. My question was, if I have a photo page and it has two pictures as opposed to four,
Oh, same
the
same
same
price.
price. That's
Yeah.
what I
Yes,
wanted
ma'am.
to
I'm
know.
sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah.
That's okay. Thank you.
One page has color on it. It's considered a
It's
colored page.
color.
It
Okay.
could be the
Thank you.
whole thing can be colored. Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. All right, guys, we're at 12:50. We have had such a great time. If everyone's okay, I know I said I'd stop and talk about the cookbook coaching program, but I really want to show you guys the new We Type It. It's kind of improved and I want to show you how to use it. Um so I'm going to do that, and then I'll stay after. Again, if you're interested in the cookbook this is our paid program. If you're interested, stay. If you're not, I'll see you in 2 weeks. Don't worry. Cookbook Camp we have it every 2 weeks. But let me show you the new We Type It. So I brought my recipe box. This is my great grandmother's, my grandma Clement's. Have her recipe. And I want to show you, I'm going to pop into my account. I also want to real quick stop. Mama Alina, I feel like that's what I need to call you now. Thank you so much for being here with us and sharing. Next week we have another special guest. Every camp we're going to start off with someone's cookbook that we can take a tour of. And Mama Alina was so amazing because she was our first for 2026. Look for an email from me because I'll have a special thank you for you. And if you finish your book and you want to be one of our special guests, email me and say, hey, I want to be your special guest because I would love to have you. But thank you for being our first of the 2026 year. I think you've done a beautiful job. You're doing a beautiful job. And it's just so helpful for everyone to see and get to ask you questions on this.
And I appreciate all the tips. And so it was my pleasure.
Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right. Now I'm going to show everybody. So the We Type It. I love We Type It. I'll tell you guys the story of We Type It. So We Type It has um, it has just been such a cool tool that I've had the privilege to get to work on and get to do. I'm going to log into my account to show you guys how to do this now. So way long ago, we used to do this with just humans, like just we would take the card, someone would type it, we would send it back to you, and it was just just photos. Well, now We do use some AI. We still have like a default of like if it can't find it, which is actually less and less. We have a human element to it. Um, but we also have just improved it in general to where we can accept pretty much any file type, PDF, JPEG, PNG, anything that you can imagine, we now can accept and ingest, and we do it in minutes, not hours. It used to take full business days to get, we type it back. Now you're getting it back in minutes, and I'm so excited. If you go to add recipe from your recipe box, you can say, send us your recipes. Now, what's really cool is if you see that QR code and you scan it and you click it, it's going to bring you to a screen and I'm going to show you mine. And you can ignore the crack. That was my 5-year-old. It says use camera. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to open the camera. I'm going to grab a recipe card. I'm going to take a picture of it. Use the photo. It has a back. I'm going to say capture the back of the photo. Open the camera, take a picture of it. Okay, it's done. It's done. All right, I'm going to say upload this recipe. It's done. Do you guys see that on my screen? It's analyzing. It's received it from my phone. And now that recipe is typed in my account. There's the picture I just took. There's my legs, guys. There's the picture I just took of the recipe. Um, I should have done a better job of snapping that photo. That being said, do you see how fast and cool that is? I'm just so excited about this because it goes, you can now have all the recipes in the recipe box in a matter of just a couple of minutes. Um, Also, you do need We Type It credits to do this, but a cool thing is everyone has 10 in their account. Everyone should have 10. So you could do 10 of these for free. And so you have 10 credits in your account. It's 1 credit per recipe typed. Um, Also, to celebrate this newer version, we're doing half off. We type it through the end of January. Use the code TYPE 2026. I suggest going with the 100 credits because it's $60, 59.95. But when you half off, you're looking at 30. They don't expire. So if you want to make your first book, that's great, but you could also make your second. So that would be my suggestion to everyone. But give it a try. And if you have feedback for us, because this is new, being able to like scan the QR code, that's all new. If you have any feedback, please tell us. We love hearing it. We love constantly improving our product and our service and working with you guys. You guys are amazing. But yeah, I'll send a replay email out shortly. I try to get it out same day. It doesn't always happen. It'll be tomorrow morning if you don't get it to me this afternoon. Um, I'll include the degree symbol. I'll include the code you need for We Type It. I'll include the link to sign up for the next cookbook camp, and as well as the replay of today. But yeah, thank everyone so much for being here. I am going to start talking about our cookbook coaching program. Ms. Bonnie, do you have another quick question?
If you use retype it, can you go back in and edit it to
Yeah,
add to
actually,
the directions or something like that?
yeah, I'm actually really glad you asked that. Let me show everybody because that would have been a good thing for me to show. So under recipe box, that's that one it says review. If I click that, do you see how I can see the book and then I can make that edit here and then I can save it. I can also, give a like it did this well or that well, and that just allows us to keep our quality control really tight. But yeah, you can make that review. And once I made that review, let's 2 cups. Okay. So if I wanted to make any edits that I wanted to do and hit save recipe, um, you'll notice in the recipe box, it'll take a second. It'll come up. This will disappear because we reviewed it. So, let's see. Review, save recipe. Okay. So now that's gone. So that gives me like what I've reviewed and what I haven't reviewed. I haven't reviewed this one yet.
Okay.
Awesome. Any other questions? I have a few minutes and then we're going to jump into the coaching. Okay. I'm going to go into our cookbook coaching program. Make sure we. Oh, thanks, Alina. So if you have any interest at all and you want to work with a cookbook coach, and a cookbook coach is if you may have some people know her, some people don't. It's Carly or myself. Carly works, hi, Carly or Christina. And seriously, guys, we are experts. We have worked on projects from BBC Good Food, Embassy Suites to BP employee cookbooks, as well as done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of family cookbooks. So we've been doing cookbooks collectively uh, oh, I would say 10 years. But for years, she and I have both been working on family cookbooks. If you want one of us to work on your project, we can do that. We launched a program called Cookbook Coaching last year. It was really successful. We finished over 120 projects. We had a lot of really great feedback, and we're going to continue it into 2026. And so it was funny. October we closed up the seats because we ran out of space, and we're reopening them. We are changing it a little bit. So if you've heard me do this pitch before, it is changing a smidge. Used to everyone had the same set, like you're going to have 5 meetings, and we're going to give you homework after every single one. And that worked really, really well for someone who was brand new to the project and needed that like intense hand holding and needed us to like pace it out. We got feedback. I've spent the for last 2 weeks talking to every single person who's completed the program, emailing, making sure that we have hit all the things that we were trying to do. And the feedback we got was I loved it. It was perfect. It helped me stay accountable. It helped me finish my project. Um, just not everyone needed the meetings that we set. So what we're doing now is we're going to start, if you're interested in the cookbook coaching, it's a paid program. We have it can be anywhere from $99 to $399. $399 meaning if it's has if you have like larger collections, meaning 300 recipes, that's gonna will there'll be some pricing, but the pricing is going to be dependent on the project itself. So what you can do is book a free discovery call with me. We will meet for 15 minutes. You're going to go over where you are in your project, what you're trying to achieve, and I can give you some insight from that call of, okay, here's what we can do. Here's how much it would be to work with a cookbook coach. And set it up that way, or I can just say, this did happen last year. Sometimes people will come to me and I'm like, you're almost done. You just need these 2 edits and you're good to go. Come back to camp. But what you can do is if you have interest in this, you can schedule 15 minutes with me. We'll go over your project and I'll give you a um a quote on how much it'll be to finish your project and have one of us do it. And we can do everything from you hand us everything and we do the whole thing for you. Or if you want to be incredibly involved and you want to do everything, we can just coach you on how to do that. So if you have interest in that, I'm going to pop a link in here. I have 2 meetings available today, right after this, and then I have to go get my little, I think I have 1 meeting. Okay, I have 1 meeting available today. Um, and then I have a pretty open day tomorrow. Um, there we go. There's a link is in the chat. But if you're interested in this and you want to talk about your project, book 15 minutes with me and we can talk about it and I can get you exactly how much it'll cost. If not, Cookbook Camp is here. We are here every 2 weeks. We're happy to be here and help. We have support at createmycookbook.com. I'm gonna put that in the chat. We have Monica and Manel in support. They're phenomenal if you've worked with either of them. And if you don't hear from them, you'll hear from me or Carly or Terry. We all jump in, we all help with support, we all try to answer within a business day. And we have a really phenomenal team. But that wraps it up for everything for today. Thank you again, Mama Alina. If you have questions, I'll ping support. If not, come back in 2 weeks so you can see the next person's book. And it'll be fun. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Christine, you're gonna do okay. Did you get that? Does Christine wants to do a discovery call? Go ahead. Thank you, Miss Kim. Go ahead and book that link. Thanks, Miss Connie. I'm glad to see you back. You were gone for a little while. No worries. All right. Christine, were you able to click the link? Make sure you got it. If anyone has questions on the cookbook coaching, I can answer it now too.
Yeah, I've got the link now.
Okay, good, good. Book some time with
Thank you.
me.
Okay,
And let me
thank you.
see. Yeah, if you wanna stay on, we can just, I don't, no one's got to be booked for right now. I can turn off the recording. Let's see.